What's up everyone, CountBlagorath here today with an album review, this time of the 2013 Razor and Tie release of Tears on Tape by Him. If you are not familiar with Him, they are a gothic rock, kind of doomy, hard rock, really hard to describe band hailing from Finland, and they gained a lot of popularity over in the United States around early to mid-2000s with professional skateboarder Bam Margera utilizing their logo, the heartagram, as his logo. And of course, people know Bam from Jackass and of course Viva La Bam and shows like that. And I used to watch those shows all the time, and Him was a big part of those shows. Musically, especially on the CKY DVDs, I've watched all of them. I still do watch them because they're hilarious. Yeah, Him has always been a big part of the soundtrack to a lot of the stuff that Bam Margera has been a part of. And, of course, I've always had a sort of a strong enjoyment for Him. Never been one of those bands that I would even consider to be my favorite band. Not even close, but every once in a while, they're damn good. And I didn't like their last album, Screamworks, Love in Theory and in Practice, but I pretty much enjoy every other album of theirs. Yeah, I just couldn't place my finger out what I didn't like about Screamworks, so I didn't know what to think when I heard that they had a new album coming out. And now that I've heard it, this is damn good. The album starts off with Unleash the Red, which is a kind of an introduction to the album, very ambient sort of thing. It kind of builds up just a little bit, and then it goes into All Lips Go Blue, which is the first song that they really put out from the album. And when this song comes in, you get the perfect idea of what this album is about. It's more of a straightforward, almost 80s, maybe 70s sounding rock. It's borderline doom metal at points, especially with the song WLSTD, which means When Love Starts to Die. A lot of the riffs on that are extremely doomy. I mean, they're that really classic sort of Black Sabbath, Sleep, Electric Wizard sort of sound. Just that very slow, droning, still, you know, keeps a nice steady beat going, but still very slow and dirty and just trudges through. And a lot of the stuff on here is like that. But an observation I've made with this album is every other song is awesome. And it's weird that it's like that, because when the song All Lips Go Blue comes on, it's the second track. I can skip over the introduction. It's nothing really that big. Then the next song comes in, Love Without Tears, and that's not that good. But then when the next song comes in, I Will Be the End of You, it's awesome, and the trend kind of continues like that. And it pretty much just kind of shows that Him is one of those bands that knows how to write a really good song, but doesn't know how to write a really good album. And I've always felt that that's kind of a downfall of them, is every album has a handful of songs that are just awesome, and the rest of them are just throwaway and filler. And I feel like this album is half awesome and half filler. The guitar riffs on here are very good, as I said. They're very slow and doomy, and they still keep that traditional Him sound of very melodic yet semi-romantic feeling going on within the actual solos and the leads, the melodies and harmonies that's going on within the guitar. But they kind of add a new level of darkness with this, and that's what I really like. And it almost reminds me of Venus Doom in that way, because Venus Doom had a lot of really heavy, dark, overbearing moments on it, and this album kind of continues in the same vein. When it comes to the bass, it's still very distorted, it's very loud, it's not too loud, it's still, you know, there in the background, but it makes its presence known, and it's absolutely fantastic. Drum-wise, Him has never been a band that really wowed me in the drum department, and this album just kind of continues in the same path of just keeping a steady 4/4 that goes along really well with the riff. It's nothing over the top, it's nothing spectacular, but it works very well. And the keyboards are just fantastic as always. then you have the vocals, and the vocals is what makes him him. Ville Valo is just an absolutely incredible singer, and in my personal opinion, one of the best going, not only in rock but in music. He can display so many different emotions with his voice, and his range is incredible. Great stuff on this album, absolutely. I gotta give him props for this record. Some of his best performances are on here, and like I keep going back to All Lips Go Blue. Just a great vocal performance. Not too big on the end of the chorus when he repeats blue over and over again. But other than that, I feel like what he's done on this record is extremely well. The lyrics fit very well. Very, very good stuff. Overall, I gotta say, this album is great when it's great. When the good moments happen and kick in, this album is spectacular, it's beautiful, it's dark, and it's heavy. And when it's not, it does nothing for me at all. I mean, I feel like some of the stuff on here just doesn't even really work that well. Like, once again, Love Without Tears. It has some decent moments, but it's almost too much of the classic hymn sound to kind of go along with this more darker and sinister vibe that I'm coming off of Tears on Tape. And I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't really work that well. So it's half good, half bad, just like every other album of theirs, in my opinion. They did bring forth something new, which is this more old school sound, and at the same time they kept it very familiar, and they sadly kept the handful of awesome tracks, handful of throwaway tracks. The only album of theirs I can really think of that's not like that is Razorblade Romance. Every other album just has those tracks that you can just throw away and forget about. And this album's like that. I'm feeling a very strong 7 on this album. It's a good album. It's not bad by any means. Definitely check it out and pick it up. I'm gonna. There's multiple versions of it. Pick up whatever one you want. I prefer, just me personally saying this, buy physical. It's so much more real than digital. That's really all I can say about that. But yeah, strong 7 out of 10. Definitely check this out. If you've never been a fan of him before, give this album a shot, maybe. Maybe it'll change your mind, maybe it won't, but that's up to the individual. But that's it, everyone. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and as always,